Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Anthony Bass was released because he supported the Bud Light boycott. It's not like he took a knee during the anthem or anything. So let's bring in someone who would never kneel for the anthem. Curt Schilling's the host of the Curt Schilling Baseball Show on Outkick. So big protest at Dodger Stadium. They're going to have these anti-Christian nuns that like to spank Jesus on parade routes. What are ball players thinking here?
Well, they're thinking about the game. This is one of those things that the only reason it permeates the clubhouse, if it does, is because the media brings it in. And the problem is that probably 90% of the guys standing around the locker room as media members are for this. They're liberal. 86% of the sports media is liberal, which means they're cowards. It's amazing to me, Jesse, that guys that are billionaires can't do math. Because what do you think? Let's say there's 10,000 trans people in LA, and I think that's probably pushing it. There's 1.3 billion Catholics in the world. I mean, let's not offend the offensive group, and let's make sure that we cater to a crowd of people who literally after tonight will never step foot in Dodger Stadium again. And then we can offend 1.3 billion Catholics in the meantime.
These aren't even like regular trans. Regular trans usually just kind of do their own thing, whatever, do your thing. These are hateful people. They bum rush churches. They make a mockery out of communion. They desecrate Jesus in public. They're sticking their middle fingers up at the cross. This is who Dodgers Stadium is allowing to be honored tonight. Who even owns the Dodgers?
Right. Well, it's not even that they're right. You just said the word that kind of, I guess, offend would be a strong word for what I am. But okay, invite them to the park and do the stupid things you're going to do. But to give them an award?
Yeah,
Seriously,
for what?
I mean, for revealing their genitals to 13-year-old kids on a public venue, golf clap.
Right.
That's what an achievement. But it's a sad day. And the problem is, Jesse, if you look at, I love coming on this show. I love talking to you. I love what you've done, what you're doing in your voice. But the fact of the matter is, I'm tired of listening to Jim Jordan and Matt Getz and Dan Crenshaw and all these people talk. That's all they're doing. They're talking. We're up against a side and a force that doesn't play by the rules, refuses to play by the rules, just look no further than the unconstitutional legal thing going with former President Trump. And we're not doing anything about it. We're talking about it, and we get excited and we get emotional. That's it. They break the law. They do the things they need to do to ensure their agenda is driven forward, and we're watching them gut our nation from the inside out. And I don't know where the rubber's going to meet the road because, it's true sacrifice. You look at the young men that signed the Constitution and all the things that they sacrificed everything to come out from under a tyrannical government. And then eventually at some point there was a man at Concord who decided he was going to pull the trigger. And I feel like we're getting back to a point where somebody's going to have to pull a trigger because everything we hold dear, everything this country was founded on is being just dragged through the mud and mocked and made fun of. This country was founded on godly principles. No matter how offensive that is to the left, it's true.
Well, I'm going to assume that you mean pull the trigger metaphorically.
Absolutely. Well, no, I mean, it doesn't matter if I say metaphorically because they're going to run with that quote no matter how I put it. I could have phrased it in any possible way saying stand up and fight and blah, blah, blah. And I would be inciting a riot while Maxine Waters says, get in their face and beat the hell out of them publicly.
No, I understand. And I've said this to Jim Jordan. I've said this to these congressmen. They throw a subpoena around. They fire off a really bold letter. Gotcha. Republicans need to go on the warpath. And that means they got to use every tool necessary. They got to do what's being done to them. Because that's the only way this is going to stop.
And the problem is that the left's winning because the left is relying on our morals and ethics. They know we'll play by the rules. They know we'll follow the laws. And they're not playing. It's like fighting a guerrilla war.
Yeah, I get it.
That's exactly right.
I got it. We got to reevaluate the whole situation, and we'll figure it out. Curt Schilling, have a great weekend. And happy Father's Day.
Take care, Jesse.
All right.
Thanks. You too, brother.